quick video to help my sisters out. So, how I healed my sexual trauma, because it bothered me for a very long time. Like, I just healed it, like, right before my 40th birthday. At one point, well, for years, I thought about it every single day, every time I had a sexual encounter, and I just hated it. It kind of ate me up on the inside, and I couldn't shake it. So I stumbled across a video that told me to address my child, uh, meaning like childhood self. So imagine like splitting yourself up into three people. So I set Shantae there. Little Shantae is a child, the one who was abused. And then I set the mother Shantae over to the left and the daddy Shantae over on the other side. So what I did was I just imagined us having a conversation and I just talked to my inner child and I revisited like how did you really feel? Like what's wrong? What's bothering you? Right? So I started asking myself like what were the questions that I wish my mother said to me? What were the questions that I wish my dad said to me? Uh, how is it that I wish they had responded? I didn't feel protected was one of my big things. Unfortunately, I was the one snatched out of the house. They had to go to foster care, and I felt like that was a punishment for me. Not for the one that did it, that was living in my house. Not my dad, by the way, not my dad, but not it was just crazy. So I felt like the system failed me. So anyway, when I sat down and just split myself up into three individuals, and I really just mothered myself by saying things like, well, of course it's not your fault. And this is the craziest thing. Sometimes looking back at my inner child, I would not be so sympathetic. But when I replace my inner child with just remove the image of me out of that chair and just go ahead and put the image of the most precious baby I could think of, like my child or, you know, my cousin's child or maybe your grandbaby or your whatever precious little baby you can think of that you love to death. Sit them in that chair. How would you mother them? What were the words you would say to them to encourage them? It would probably sound like, oh no, baby, it's not your fault. It was you're the victim. It was them. It was their issues, not yours. All that sounds good, but I just couldn't accept it. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. But when I played it out like that, then it opened my eyes up to really realizing, like, girl, that really was not your fault. Like in real life, like you were 5 years old, and now looking at my child that's 4 years old today, I could see he didn't have the I didn't have the mental capacity to deal with such a big grown up issue. I was a child, so it definitely wasn't my fault. And in fact, I didn't realize that I had to be okay with forgiving myself. Like, I still some type of way faulted myself. But I had to tell myself, guess what, girl? You can forgive yourself for that. Because there was something that happened to you like a whole lot of years ago. You hear me? So for you to be still allowing that to bother you right now today in 2022, it's insane. You have to like take your power back. Like realize that all these years it hasn't happened up until this point. So like why are you still tripping off of it now? So little by little I started getting my power back, just feeling better about myself.
I can't have both of these.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so then. Time to be a mama. Gotta go. Say hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.